Good morning, class. This is your English teacher, Sanjay. I welcome you all to yet another session of YouTube wherein we discuss lessons from English Marigold. Short stories and poems are discussed regularly on YouTube because these are difficult times and this has challenged us to continue our learning with a bit of innovation, isn't it? So here we are back with yet another session of YouTube. Without any further ado, let's begin today's lesson. If you have seen the previous video, you must have watched video explanation of first day at school and then Haldi's adventure, isn't it? So today what we are going to do is an extension of the exercises of Haldi's adventure. In the lesson called Haldi's adventure, there are a few exercises. What we are going to do today is we will discuss these exercises. Okay, because in the last class we couldn't discuss them, few pages were remaining. What we'll do today is we'll discuss them. Okay, class, so be ready. Let me prepare the slide for you. So I assume you all have opened your book at page number 12. There is a sweet poem called The Paddling Pool. Okay, here is the title of the poem called The Paddling Pool. Okay, pool refers to water body. It could be pond or something where water is there. Okay, so what does paddling mean, class? Can anyone tell me? Of course, even if you tell, I'll not be able to hear, isn't it? So yeah, getting back to the meaning of paddling. Paddling means nothing. It has a simple meaning. It means moving. Okay, moving a small boat where through water. Okay, so when you paddle a boat, you try and move it through water. Okay, so let us imagine you have a small boat, let's say a paper boat or something, like in the poem. Let's say it's this. Let's say it's like this. Okay, so this, let's say, it's not a very excellent sketch, but just for your understanding, this, let's say, is a boat, and then if it moves through water, it's called paddling. Okay, so now let's read the poem, class. I believe you're ready. Yeah. The paddling pool. Repeat after me. Down by the river on the way to school. We're here, class. We have to pass by the paddling pool. The grass is green. The grass is green and the water cool. And we stay to play. And we stay to play by the paddling pool. Down by the river on the way to school. It's written by Anne Berry. Okay, the name of the poet is Anne Berry. It's a very simple poem, class. It's about young children like you while they were on their way back to school, on their way back to home, basically. While they were on their way back to home from school, what did they do? They stopped by. Why did they stop by? To paddle a small paper boat in a pool. Okay, adventurous young kid like you all are. So let's read this poem once again. Repeat after me. Down by the river on the way to school, we have to pass by the paddling pool. The grass is green and the water cool. And we stay to play by the paddling pool. Down by the river on the way to school. Simple. It's written by Anne Berry. So they stopped by the pool to actually paddle the boat, isn't it? So here they are, you see, these children. There's a young girl, and then we have two little young boys, isn't it? Here. So they have stopped by the pool on their way back to home from school so that they could fly, they could paddle it, isn't it? So this is what class. Let's move ahead now. There is this let's write section. Okay, so let's find out what is it about. You are asked to fill in the blanks with the words given in brackets. Okay, some words are given in bracket. Let's fill the blanks using the words. Boats. What do boats do? Of course, they S-A-I-L, sail, isn't it? Then dogs. What do dogs do? Dogs produce typical sound called bark, isn't it? Right? Very simple. What else do we have next? Let's find out. Children. What do children do? Children, appropriate word will be they play, isn't it? Young children like you just need a chance to play. Then we have bells. What do bells do? Bells ring, right? And then finally we have birds. What do birds do? Birds S-I-N-G sing, right? Very simple class. You could have done this on your own. Now you asked to write the names of the days of the week. You can begin with Sunday. Very simple, right? There are 7 days in a week, you all know. So beginning with Sunday, it will go down to Monday, Tuesday, up to Saturday. So list them down and the blank space provided here. Okay. So if you write Sunday in the first blank, the last day will be Saturday, isn't it? Let's say this is Sunday. So this is going to be Saturday. How will you fill the rest of the days? I believe you know. So moving on, class. See, there is an interesting observation here. It says Haldi wrote her name at school this way, beginning with small h. You see? Yeah. She made one mistake. What was it? I already told you. She wrote her name with a small h, which is wrong. Always while writing names, what should we do? We should begin with capital letter like capital H. Okay, so this should have been correct. Alright, she made a mistake. Write her name correctly. We know how to write the name correctly, and then it asks you to write your name correctly. So whatever your name is, write it in the space provided. Clear, class? It's on page number 13. Then what else do we have here? Haldi wrote, I met a giraffe. Again, small I is the mistake, isn't it? Haldi's been making some mistakes. She needs help. Let's help her. She made two mistakes. What are they? Write Haldi's sentence correctly. So what do you think are the mistakes, class? It's very obvious. From the first sentence itself, what we have learnt is we should always begin a sentence with capital letters. So this your first mistake. And then what else is mistake? Can you spot any mistake? Yes, there is. The second mistake is usage of full stop at the end of sentence. You have to use full stop at the end of each sentence. Okay, so now the sentence is correct. So how will you write the correct sentence? You can do it on your own, right? You'll write it like this. I met A G I R A F F E. Full stop. I made a giraffe. So the mistakes have been corrected. What is the correction? Capital I, and full stop in the end. Right? Now we will just clear this for you. Let's move on, class. Now let's get ready to go to school. Let's get prepared for the school. So before coming to school, you have to undertake certain preparatory measures, isn't it? You prepare yourself in certain manner. So what are they? Let's find out. See, there are a number of pictures on this page. In the first picture, you see a little boy is taking shower. He's bathing, isn't it? A little girl is climbing a tree. Then in the next pictures, what happened? Let's see. Young boy is playing. What is he playing? It's tennis, isn't it? And then a girl, a little girl, combs her hair. Then we have another little girl feeding the birds. Is it? And then what do you do? Here, helping milk a cow. Is it? So, what are you asked to do? You are asked to write Y for yes and no for N for no. Okay. In each of the situation, as you observe clearly, some of the things are done by you on daily basis on your way to school, the others are not, right? So let's see. How about this class? It's a Y, isn't it? How about this class? Is it Y or N? Before coming to school, do you climb tree? I don't think you do so, isn't it? So this is an N. So class, I believe you can do the rest on your own. Think whether you do this before coming to school. Think whether you do this. If no, you'll write N. If yes, you'll write Y. Okay. So now let's move on to the next exercise and find out what is it about. It says fill in the blank with before or after. There are certain actions, okay, certain actions or situations in this sentences. We have to read this properly and then fill up the blank with before or after. So let's find out. Dash eating food. Dash eating food. I wash my hand. So when do you usually wash your hand, class? Of course, it's a very easy answer. Always before, isn't it? And after eating food also. It's a compulsory thing. So both before and after, but before having food, it's a mandatory thing. Dash reaching school, I sit in class. What is it? Before reaching, can we sit? No, right? So the answer is obvious. What is the answer? After. And what do we have next? Dash eating food, I wash my mouth. So after, isn't it? So class, the rest is same. Do it on your own. Dash reaching home, I do my homework. Can you do homework before reaching? No, right? Only after reaching. So there is this let's sing section class. So try and sing this. Try and fine tune this poem into a song and then sing it on your own if possible. For now, we will just recite it. It's bells. Okay. So let's read. Ding dong, all the bells are ringing. Ding dong, it's a holiday. So during holidays and Sundays, what happens? Bells ring, isn't it? Ding dong, all the bells are singing. Ding dong, let's go out and play. So it's written by Margaret Russell. Okay, it's about wonderful Sundays and holidays with church bells and bells nearby, they start ringing. Okay, class? I believe we are clear. So let's move on now. Let's move on. Fun time session on page number 16. Okay, so if it's a fun time section, of course it will be full of fun, isn't it? It says, what is the sound of your school bell? You can write it based upon the kind of sound you have at your own school bell, isn't it? Ring, ring, tring, tring, whatever you feel like. Can you make sound of different bells that you have heard? You must have heard so many bells, isn't it? So you asked to make sound of some of them that you have heard, like tring, tring, ring, ring, and so on. Okay. Then what else do we have? Different bells make different sounds. Try and make the sound of a phone bell. Phone bell usually rings with ring, ring, isn't it? Doorbell, tung, dung, something like that. Then cow bell. There is this clinging sound. Then horse bell. Then buzz bell. Okay, so different bell ring with different sound. You try and do this activity on your own. Make different sounds using your idea, because you may have come across the sound of all these things, isn't it? All you have to do is try and make sounds. Okay, so moving on, write the first letter of each picture given in the box. So there is a box corresponding to each picture. You are asked to write the first letter. So it's easy, class. What is this? These are grapes. So it begins with G. What is it? This is igloo. It begins with E. Not at all. It begins with I, isn't it? I for igloo. What is it? It's a rabbit. Bunny. R. Tomato, apple, frog, fish, and envelope. So it's simple, class. So what have you spelt? Isn't it? Whatever we have spelt is what we have studied. It's very simple. What will it be? This is apple, and this is frog, this is fish, this is envelope. So what is the spelling? What does it lead to? Giraffe, isn't it? So what have we spelled? We have spelled giraffe. Here is a lovely picture of giraffe. Is it, class? So class, this is the conclusion of the analysis of the remainder of unit 1. Some poems and questions were due for an analysis, which I have already done today. So what have we discussed in today's class? We have discussed or read the poem called Paddling Pool, and then we moved on. We did the exercises, some fill up the blanks as we moved along, and then I told you to write the names of days beginning with Sunday and all. Then in the story, as we move along, there are a few more interesting exercises developed, like Haldi wrote her name with a slight mistake, isn't it? So what were we asked? We were asked to make the correction, right? What kind of correction were we asked to make? We were asked to first identify the mistake. So we identify the mistake. The mistake was a small h instead of capital H. And I also told you to always remember that while writing name, the first letter has to be capital, isn't it? Then we moved on and we did more exercises. There was another sentence correction. There were errors, there were mistakes, isn't it? Beginning was small, which was wrong. In the end, there were no full stop, which was wrong. We learned how to write it correctly using capital letter and a full stop, right? So as we move along, what did we read? We read a fun exercise on getting ready to school. Few interesting pictures were provided to you. I told you to write why for the activity you do before coming to school, and for the activity you don't. The first two were done for you, with the rest left out for you to be done as homework, is it? I believe it's easy and it will be fun for you to do. And then we followed it with another fill in the blank, isn't it? Says which asked us to fill up using before or after, where there were a few interesting situation, isn't it? And then there was a song singing section wherein there was this poem like recitation which you were asked to sing like ding dong, isn't it? And as we moved along, there were a few more interesting questions, fun time like what is the sound of your school bell, and so on and on. Finally, there were picture clues which led us to spell giraffe, isn't it? So class, with this we come to conclusion of today's YouTube session. It was wonderful to have shared experience of this lesson with you all. Keep learning, keep working hard. Remember, wash your hands regularly because we have to defeat this virus which is out on the loose. Take care of your health. Bye bye. Have a great time. Keep learning, keep working hard. Thank you all.